a girl's not really gonna care about whether or not a man is short or tall. I've literally dated a guy that was 5'4". Yeah, no, I was judging.
Would you say it's a good idea for a man to confide in his woman?
I mean, yeah, your woman should be your place of peace. And if you can't confide in your place of peace, then you're not with the right woman. And it's vice versa. If I have a man and I can't confide in him, then what's the point of the relationship? If I have to go to an external source as like my soundboard, I'm not in the right dynamic as far as my relationship is concerned. That's my personal opinion.
Do you think that a lot of women would look at a man differently if he expresses his emotions or if he cries, for example, over stressful situations?
I think that you'd have to be a really like immature female to judge a man for being vulnerable, because that's essentially what that is. So many men go to therapists and be vulnerable, or so many men go to their friends to be vulnerable. So if you have a woman that you could be vulnerable with, I think you've found yourself a gem.
How much money does your man have to make for him to have a side chick?
Is the mic on? Let me be the first to tell you, I've already done that, okay? Like, I've literally already done that. And I feel like at the time, my standards, I feel like as you get older, your standards change for the better.
Yeah.
And for those that are not Jamaican, I was on some yam head behavior, accepting yam head treatment. So, you know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't even another woman, it was other women. But because this person had me living a life that was, call it luxurious and, you know, well kept, and, you know what I mean? My quality of living was right. I was accepting it at the time. And then obviously as I got older and I got wiser, I realized that I'm a bad bitch. Like, I don't need to share the space. I don't need to share the microphone with other women, right? I don't need to share my man with other women. So there's no amount of money, there's no amount of resources, there's no amount of dick that could ever make me share a man again. Ever, 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 ever.
Would you say it's easier to be a man or a woman?
I think it's easier to be a woman because I feel like you could step into so many spaces and kind of like shapeshift. Like, you can literally walk into a corporate office and sit down with the big dogs, or you can walk into a strip club and jump on a pole. And in both scenarios, you can come out with being like successful, especially when it comes to finances and networking and so on and so forth. For a guy to run into a corporate office, you have to have the lingo, you have to have the pizzazz, you have to have everything. You have to have the full package for people to really take you seriously at the corporate desk. And a man can't jump on a stripper pole. You know what I mean? Like, that's not
You'd
not
be
common.
surprised.
Go to Thailand for that. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in Western culture, I don't feel like a man's gonna be like, yeah, you know what? I think I might be a stripper on weekends to help me pay for my tuition. Like, nah, you know what I mean? So I definitely feel like in that token, being a woman is a lot easier.
Would you tell your man your real body count?
It's always gonna be your number 2. Number 2, dos, de. And I know how to say it in multiple languages. 2 in Jamaican. Yeah, number 2. Only the one before you. You're the second one and you're the best one. Oh, I'm sorry, we got a frame.
Wow. Okay.
Always gonna be 2.
Okay, what is one thing that a guy can do that automatically puts him in the hubby category?
Listen to his woman and make changes according to her wishes. I feel like there's a lot of men and they hear you, but they don't hear you. You know what I mean? They're not willing to action what it is that they've heard and turn that into actions that's gonna make you a happier woman. Okay. And I find that the men that listen and they were like, hey, you know what, my girl, this is not working for her, or that's not working for her, and they make those appropriate changes, chef's kiss. Mwah. Literally.
Which one would you say is worse? A girl judging a guy by his height, or a guy judging a woman by her weight?
I think a guy judging a woman by her weight. And why I say that is so many men are so uninformed in terms of so many health ailments that exist that can contribute to a woman gaining weight. Birth control is one of them. PCOS is one of them. Stress is another one that's very popular. I find that there's so many different avenues that a woman can take that can lead to weight gain that so many men are oblivious to. And I feel like if they were a little bit more educated, they would think twice before they judged a woman based on their size and, you know?
Okay, let me play devil's advocate. You can change your weight, even if you're stressed or have thyroids. You can get in the gym, change your eating, but a guy can't change his height. If you're born 5'5", 5'6", 5'8", like that's all you got.
Listen, technology has improved. I be looking on TikTok and I be seeing them do those kneecap extendo clips and they be getting it done. So quite frankly, I really feel like if it's a genuine and organic connection, a girl's not really gonna care about whether or not a man is short or tall. I've literally dated a guy that was 5'4". Yeah, no, I was judging. Because like 9 out of 10 times when they're that short, like other things are kind of lacking. So, but yeah, no, devil's advocate doesn't work here. No, it doesn't.
Okay, I think that's all I got for you.
Yeah.
Actually, I got one more for you. What phone do you use?
I use an iPhone.
Does a guy using an Android phone make him less attractive?
He automatically loses 50 points. And mind you, we're only starting with 100 points. So you're half gone. And quite frankly, I feel like Android's like IKEA. It's like a maze. There's too many places to hide shit. And I feel like in a relationship, you make me feel like I don't want to walk through that maze. I don't want to have a headache on behalf of the phone that you're using because you know how to use it well. Chances are you switch over to my side and we're going to have a happy wife, happy life. iPhone all day. That's just what it is.
So would you actually not date someone though because he has an Android though?
That wouldn't be a determining factor, but I would definitely have you switching sides and you'll be iOS all day within 30 to 60 days. Business days, that is, no weekends.
Who won the rap beef, Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Definitely Drake. Why? Because Kendrick said a whole bunch of nothing. And like Drake said, we can't read it nowhere. You're just saying it, but where can we read it? Where can we pick up these facts at? And I genuinely feel like a lot of people were jumping on that Mustard beat only because Mustard really knew how to put that beat together. You know what I'm saying? Like, had Drake took that beat, he would have ate it, devoured it, threw it at Kendrick, ate it again. Kendrick said a whole bunch of nothing, and quite frankly, like, 6 God all day, OVO.
Okay, that's it.
OVO.